So, in the last episode, we talked about what agentic AI actually is. The big idea being that these aren't just fancier chatbots, they're systems that can act, not just answer, but how, what's actually going on under the hood. That's what we're diving into today. And honestly, once you see how these things work, a lot of the fear and a lot of the hype both start to make a lot more sense. Let's start with the loop. Every agentic system runs on what researchers call a sense, think, act loop. Now, that sounds quite technical, but it's actually pretty intuitive. Think about how you yourself solve a problem. You take in information, you think about what to do, you do something, you see what happened, and then you adjust and go again. That's the loop. The difference with agents is that this happens automatically and incredibly fast. The sensing part is the agent taking in its environment. Now, that environment could be a conversation with you. It could be files on a disk. It could be data coming through an API. The agent is reading, listening, watching, whatever the equivalent is for its inputs. Then comes the thinking bit. This is where the large language model brain does its thing. It looks at what it knows, what you asked for, what it's already done, and it figures out the next logical step. That's the reasoning. And here's where it gets interesting. The agent isn't just generating text like a chatbot would, it's generating actions. Actions like search for this, read that file, send this email, run this piece of code, and then it acts. It uses tools. This is the bit that really sets agents apart from the chatbots you might already be using. A chatbot can only talk back to you. An agent can reach out and touch the digital world. It can browse the web. It can interact with APIs. It can read and write files. It can execute code. It can control other software. All of a sudden, you're not just having a conversation, you're giving someone a job to do, and they're going out and doing it. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Memory. Chatbots are essentially stateless. Each conversation starts fresh. You might have a long context window so they can remember what you said 10 minutes ago, but the moment that conversation ends, it's gone. Agents are different. They have persistent memory. They can carry context across sessions, across days, even indefinitely if the system is designed that way. That means an agent can learn your preferences, remember what it's already tried, build on previous work. It can accumulate understanding the way a human colleague would, and that changes everything. Suddenly, you're not just using a tool, you're working with something that has institutional knowledge, something that remembers what you told it last week and can apply that today. The other piece worth understanding is planning. When you give an agent a complex task, it doesn't just jump in and start doing things randomly. Well, some early agents did that, and it was a bit of a mess. Modern agents break down big tasks into smaller steps. They create a plan. They might say, right, to build this report, I need to first gather data from this source, then clean it, then analyze it, then write the summary, and then they execute that plan, adjusting as they go. If one step fails or produces something unexpected, they adapt, they replan. This is what researchers call task decomposition, and it's part of what makes agents feel so much more capable than a simple chatbot. Now here's the bit that trips a lot of people up. Agents make mistakes differently. A chatbot makes a mistake and you see it right there in the text. You can immediately tell something's off. An agent might make a mistake somewhere in its reasoning loop and then act on it, and by the time you see the output, the error is buried in a whole chain of actions. It might delete the wrong file, it might send the wrong email, it might run code that breaks something. The mistake isn't in the answer, the mistake is in the doing. And that is genuinely different from what we've dealt with before. It's why the human in the loop idea is so important, and why we're going to be talking about accountability and agency a lot more as this technology scales. So to recap, the loop, sense, think, act, repeat. Tools. Agents can interact with the world, not just talk about it. Memory. Persistent context that accumulates over time. Planning. Breaking down complex goals into executable steps. And mistake patterns that are different from chatbots because the mistake happens in action, not just in output. Why does any of this matter? Because once you understand the mechanics, the implications become so much clearer. You start to see why this isn't just about getting better answers out of AI. It's about getting work done. And you start to see the risks too. The agency these systems have, the things they can touch, the mistakes they can make. That's the conversation we need to be having. Now here's where it gets really interesting. If agents are fundamentally different from chatbots, why does everyone keep talking about them as if they're just the next version of the same thing? In the next episode, we're going to explore why agentic AI isn't an upgrade. It's a completely different paradigm. We're going to talk about why this shift is more like the jump from desktop computers to the internet than it is from one chatbot to a better one. And we're going to look at what's at stake if you dismiss it as just another shiny tech thing. See you there.